Maybe this will help everyone also understand their own intuitive system as I tell my story about how I kind of developed it. I think I had a wiring for it from birth. I mean, I think it was already there, and certainly a very wise kind of knowing always seemed to be present to me. You know, I was in Taekwondo when I was a kid, and I was at a very traditional dojang, and I was like maybe from 10 to 13 in this, you know, and we were at tournaments, and I would give these adults relationship advice. And I don't even know how the hell I knew that. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying. I became like little Buddha. They would like send everybody over to me. And it was, you know, just one of those weird things where it's like, and I'm like, I didn't even have a relationship yet. I mean, how would I even know that stuff? But,
sure,
you know, I'm gay. So when I was growing up, I think when you're gay from my generation, you're always on alert for danger. Are you going to be accepted? Is someone going to bully you? Is someone going to call you a name? Is your life under threat?
right.
So it created this sort of hyper sensitivity to reading the environment. And then on top of that, I come from a very messy alcoholic home in terms of my history. And so there was a lot of physical violence and abuse. So I was always on guard because of that as well. So I had this doubly heightened sense about my safety and my security and really survival that turned on this thing where I was always reading people. I mean, I didn't call it, I wouldn't have called it that then. I would have been called, you know, he's just a sensitive boy. But I was actually really tracking everybody to see, okay, am I safe with you? Are you going to, you know, kick me out of the house because of who I am? Are you going, what's going to happen here? And then now I can look back and go, oh, that whole time I was developing this skill set that, you know, now I apply like a laser into certain things. So I want people to understand, you know, that you hear these stories about I was struck by lightning and all that, and then suddenly I had these abilities, which maybe that's true for some people. I want to give you the gritty truth here. That's not how it happened for me. It was a very gritty kind of development, you know, of experiences one after the other, and just generally always being like, oh my God, am I going to survive this life? And then as I got older and began my own psychotherapy and healing and studying psychology and all these other, you know, alternative modalities to kind of start working on myself from all the damage done, you know, I began to take the reins a bit. And it was really, I think, in college that it really started to come online to where, you know, I would just know stuff. And then my friends started to say, you know, you've got something here and you should do something with it. So mind you, when I graduated college, I was all at, you know, 23, 24. Yeah, I did a 6-year undergrad, and there you go.
I had 5. It's okay.
But you know, the thing is, I was too immature to hold the psychic and psychological space for people as a real deep spiritual director or intuitive strategist or any of that then. And then as I got to my early 30s, that's when everything started to kick off and kick in. And there was one reading, because I started dabbling. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if I got this. You know, is this really something I should give a shit about? But I did this reading on this woman, and the impressions were so clear that she had been sexually abused at 8 years old, and I could see it happening. And not only that, she went to tell her mother, and her mother looked right at her. This is the impression I was saying, and her mother said, "That didn't happen to you." So not only was she betrayed by, you know, this family member, but also then her mother, the double betrayal, denying her experience by saying, "Oh, that didn't happen to you. I'm not dealing with that. Go shove that away." And I remember I met her in person at a restaurant. She was a mutual friend of someone that I was really good friends with. And I said to her, I said, "Well, I've got some, you know, clear stuff to tell you." I said, "But I just want you to know it's heavy, you know." And then I said to her the information I got, and it was exactly what happened. And I remember we're both bawling. I'm bawling. She's bawling. And I'm just like, I shouldn't be doing this in a restaurant, first of all. But that's when I knew, don't fuck around with this. This is like people's soul. This is like, you know, some of the worst stuff they've been through, and the worst challenges they'll ever, you know, face in their life. And that they carry even still, you know. So I realized that this was a very kind of sacred, serious territory. And then after I kind of tipped into that and surrendered to that, I think everything else just like, you know, dominoes lined up for me. Yeah. And it truly did. I mean, how I got into Harpo is, you know, everything for this career for me, I honestly couldn't have ever planned. It just planned itself and I showed up, you know? So that was for me, the turning point.